records of things, but things that I actually kept in logs. And I said, this is really, really strange. And the other thing that was happening at the same time, I was becoming an emotional roller coaster. I will go from nice to a-hole in a matter of seconds. And I said, you know, there's something going on here. And I realized that, you know, I was eating one particular thing that I will despise to many years to come. I was consuming a ton of soy. And soy contains a lot of phytoestrogens, with our, you know, estrogen compounds, you know.
Xenoestrogens.
But those are in plastic. Phytoestrogens are in plants.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right to a degree there. So those phytoestrogens mimic the human estrogen. So what I was doing, I was loading myself with estrogen mimicking agents. And obviously it was having the reaction of the estrogen, which is to make you very sensitive, to make you very emotional, to make you gain weight, and to make you weak at the same time. Which it was pretty much everything that I didn't want to do, but that's what my body was taking me. So I did what? I changed completely. I understood. I began to read about metabolic typing. That was another phase that I've gone through my life. And I was consuming a lot more animal products of very good quality, because I understood that the energy imprint of the animal is what's going to carry over in its flesh when we eat it later. So I try to eat the healthiest meat and the healthiest dairy products that I can find. And I went from that transition, and did not cause me any stress, because I felt once again that I was feeling really, really good again. And everybody told me, oh my God, after being a vegetarian for 3.5 years, the day you put a piece of, you know, a steak in your mouth, you're gonna throw up. You know what, guys? I went from a seminar with Paul. He told me what I was doing to myself, what I should be doing with myself. I went out, I bought a big ass steak. I went home, I cooked it in front of my wife at the time, and she goes, "You gonna eat that?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What happened to you?" I said, "You know, life happened to me. Obviously what I've been doing so far hasn't worked." And I ate the steak, and I felt fantastic. Anybody that tells you that you will feel sick and stuff like that is because there might be something else going on, disregarding what the meat itself is going to do, because I actually felt pretty good. I said, from this day on, I will have vegetables with my meat, or I will have fruit with my protein, but not any other way around.
You see, guys, it's a very personal story. Ruben went through this experience by himself.
It wasn't an experience, it was hell.
It was hell for him. I think that the message that we want to send with this particular episode is to pay attention to your body, learn from the mistakes that you make. Always think that if you're not getting what you want, what you do does not work, doesn't matter how beautiful it looks on a paper.
Yeah.
It just might not be that particular thing that's going to change your life.
Yeah, and being a vegetarian is a beautiful, noble idea. Not killing animals to avoid the suffering of these creatures. But another thing that I want to point out, later on in my life, I read certain books about the secret life of plants. Actually, that's one of the other titles of the book, The Secret Life of Plants, by Burr and Tompkins. I think they're the authors, if I recall. And there's another one that would really open my eyes, which is called Primal Perception by Clive Baxter. And they talk about the feelings and the way that plants express themselves when they feel threatened, like they're going to be cut, they're going to be mangled, they're going to be burned, they're going to be put under, you know, in an environment with no light. And the plants themselves, they go through stress. So here's the key point that I want to make. It doesn't mean that just because you cut a piece of broccoli and the broccoli does not scream, that the plant does not have feelings. It's just not expressing them like a cow will be, you know. But everything in this planet, to a degree, is sentient. So are we. So it doesn't really, the point that I try to make, it doesn't really matter what you eat. It's what do you do with that energy forward to humanity. So you could eat cows and be a beautiful, self-realized soul, and just because you don't eat cows, it doesn't make that you're any more when it less evolved to that person. I had somebody one time, you know, lash at me because I promoted eating meat, and this person was a vegan. I said, well, yes, this, you know, she really tried to, you know, crucify me because I said that it was necessary for people to eat meat. The point here was, she wasn't really that spiritually evolved if she had to lash at me for promoting meat. So that was the point. It doesn't make a difference whether you eat meat or flesh, or vegetables or fruit or whatever have you. It's what you do with that energy forward to humanity, or to the Mother Earth, or the whole planet, as you want to look at it, that really matters something.
Guys, think before you do it. Do it with love, whatever you do. I thought it will be very beneficial if you hear the story from Ruben, from his personal hell experience, so you can learn from his lessons, and use it, and you can use it for your advantage.
Sure.
I have nothing else to add but to love yourself and make good choices for yourself.
Absolutely. And every time you eat something or you put some piece of food in your mouth, give thanks to the spirit of that, whatever it was, that is actually providing energy, and make that energy work for everybody else.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
So long.